Coach, if you want to start by just giving us your thoughts on the game, and then we'll turn it over to Donnie for his questions.
Yeah, I thought the girls did a great job of executing the scout defensively in the beginning of the game. Especially, they were pretty locked into the strengths and tendencies of Keuka, and even the shots that they made were tough shots. There were a couple runners and leaners in the lane that, if you have to make those all night, it's going to be tough on your offense. They made some, but our girls, I thought, did a terrific job of taking away what they like to do best and then playing clean, meaning not fouling. So I was really happy with the defensive effort and just enough offense, which seems to be the recipe for this team. Play defense and find a way on offense.
Good. All yours, Donnie.
How big is it to get off to a good start in a first-round game when you're at home and you're up 27-9 or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed that they're in desperation mode at that point.
Yeah, I thought it felt good to see some shots go in early. Try not to think about last year, but last year was the opposite. We came out and nothing went early, and it was just a grind the entire night. So to have a little bit of breathing room, I thought the girls seemed really relaxed to me to start the game, and so that was a good sign. Hopefully that's something that continues.
Bridgette, you got off to the hot start and hit a couple of threes there. Kind of the opposite of last weekend where you came out and played offensively a lot better in the second half. What's the key for you when you're coming out of in a big game like this, hit some shots early? What's how do you know that when you're going well there?
Honestly, I just try not to think about it, and that's been something I've been trying to work on more. Is if the shot doesn't go, to stop dwelling on it and just go back and play defense. Luckily today was the opposite, and I was hitting shots. But again, I just took the opportunities that the defense gave me and what I thought was a good shot or trying to find open people.
They changed up the defense a couple of times. It seemed like they were doing some different things. How did you guys kind of handle that? And, what was you mentioned how well they handled it. What was the game plan to deal with what they were doing? Either.
Go ahead, Coach.
Coach always gives us a good scout,
Mm-hmm.
and it's something that we try to do our best to absorb during our shoot-arounds and practices. So I think if we didn't have that, it would be a completely different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, different game anyways. So with that, it really is helpful because you really get to know the personnel. You know that, okay, this girl is going to drive right or she's a shooter. And I think that's, if anything, the major part of why today was so successful, because I felt like we knew their plays inside and out. We knew what every player could do, and I just think we executed on the defensive end pretty well today.
I thought your passing was pretty good tonight. When you were able to post up there and take advantage of the size mismatch, and I thought pretty consistently get good looks inside. Is that how big was that for you guys, and is that something you guys work on?
Well, coming in, we knew we had a size advantage this game, so in practice we really focused on, especially with the ball screens, getting the post sprinting to the basket because of the high hedge. So we focused on that a lot of practice, and we just knew one of our goals was to dominate the paint tonight. So.
Offensively, it was better start than finish, but do you think you were able to kind of settle into more of a defensive game plan, which you guys want to do once you take that big lead early?
I'm not sure what the right answer is. We certainly didn't want to take the foot off the gas pedal. We wanted to continue to try and score. Give them some credit. They're playing in March too, so they're pretty good. And certainly, it's rare if you're going to shoot like that for 40 minutes is unlikely. So, it's good to get the lead. We were a little disappointed that we let them hang around. We mentioned it a couple times in huddles and even at halftime that we felt like we were letting them hang around with some of our mistakes. And they had 5 or 6 points, 8 points off of our mistakes, soft exchanges, passes where they stepped in passing lanes. And if you take those out of the first half, and now instead of 13 or 14 or whatever it was, now you're looking at a 20-point lead, and you really feel good coming out of the locker room. So, we were happy with the start. A little disappointed that we couldn't continue the flow offensively, but for the most part, we'll take it.
Trev, can you talk about tomorrow and both the girls, if you want to comment? You know, a familiar opponent playing Cabrini again. Played them each of the past, I believe, 3 years for you, Katie, and obviously all 3 years you've been here. Bridgette, talk a little bit about tomorrow's matchup.
Well, I'll go first. Not surprised to see them here. Good team. They've got 2 losses, and they haven't lost since I think we played them in December. I think that's the last time they lost. So, not surprised at all to see them. Well coached team. They use their talent well. They're in the right spots. They play to their strengths. Defensively, they compete, throw a couple different looks at you. So we'll have to be prepared for just about anything. And they've got the ability to make shots. I think you saw it, especially in the first half today. They made a bunch of shots. So they present some problems. The familiarity, I think, because of the short turnover in games, playing quickly, is helpful. But it's also helpful for them to have some understanding, and you know, it's not, you don't have to look back that far to remember playing each other. So I think it doesn't benefit anybody any more than anyone else.
I would say, like, one thing that we should try not to think about is how the game went in the past, because obviously that was early in the season and they've gotten better and we've gotten better. So I think a big thing that we already talked about was to not even think about the outcome of the last game and just focus on learning the scout, learning the personnel for tomorrow, and coming out and playing our best game.
Katie, you're shaking your head. It looks like you agree, huh?
I agree, all the above. They're tough, aggressive opponents. We just have to come out and play hard. We'll be good.
Great. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.